Good morning, it's Thursday. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I think I've got a cold, which I haven't had a cold in a really long time. Oh my gosh. And I can hear it in my voice. I'm really hoping it's just one of those that will go away quickly because I'm going away next week and I do not want to be ill. I am heading out today to do something really fun. We're going to Newquay. And I don't want to give too much away because it's going to be a nice fun day, but I've been invited to go to Newquay to see something new and sustainable and really interesting that I think a lot of you are going to be intrigued by. We're heading there. I'm just getting ready. It's like 20 to 8 now. And yeah, I'm excited to meet everyone who's going today and just to explore and be shown around. Should I wear these? Are these a bit too much? I think I need to try my outfit on first. I got these in M&S the other day. But I'm heading to Newquay to Nansledden, which is a sustainable housing development. It's not finished yet, it's like halfway through, but they just want to share basically with me and with my audience what they're doing there and the community that they're building for families in Cornwall and the sustainable things they've done with the houses, because I know lots of you are interested in making your home more sustainable, and I'm also interested in that. Obviously, all the projects we've done, I've tried to do in the most sustainable way possible, and that's always kind of at the forefront of my mind. Whenever we're decorating, whenever we're doing any projects, there's lots of things in the future that I would love to do for our home to make it more sustainable. And I just think it'd be a really interesting day. And I think that very informative for a lot of you as well, because I just think that's part of why we're all here. So I'm going to finish getting ready. My hair just needs a bit of a zhuzh. I also thought later in this vlog as well, I might go and answer some of your questions. I'm going to go on Instagram and ask some questions about our home renovation, do some flashbacks, give you some more information so that this video is kind of helpful. To those of you who are looking to renovate sustainably or build your home sustainably or do more environmentally friendly things with your home, I think that there's certain things that we definitely have done and that we have in our home. So I thought I would kind of elaborate on that. And I'll also share with you a bit of an update with the annex office decoration, because it's completely finished outside and it looks so good. We just need to clean up and stuff the patio. And it's also my niece's birthday today. So after Newquay, we're heading to the seal sanctuary. So it's a really lovely, busy day. I'm so excited for her to open all her presents. And yeah, she's 2 years old now. So yeah, it's gonna be a lovely, lovely day and the sun is shining. That's wonderful. So let's finish getting ready. I might zhuzh my hair a bit and head on out. I'm nearly ready to go. I'm wearing my new jeans that I got in the vintage shop the other day, a t-shirt from M&S. And oh, they're hard to bend down. That's the only thing with the vintage jeans, because the quality of the jean is pretty good. They aren't stretchy. I just think this is I'm so pleased that I've got a pair of jeans now, because I feel like when it came to my style, I was missing like a chunk of how I wanted to dress. The style that I love, which is jeans and a t-shirt, like that just very laid back 90s style. And now I can do that because I have these jeans back. And yeah, I used to wear jeans like all the time. And then a lot of you complimented this t-shirt, this jumper in my wardrobe video. So I thought I'd try this today. And then I might wear these doll shoes. I might take the socks off. I was seeing lots of girls wearing socks with their shoes, and it's something that I did as a teenager that I always thought was so cute. I used to love wearing like a tulle skirt or like a big skirt. This is so funny, but I used to love wearing that like ballerina style skirt with socks and then doll shoes. That was like a thing. No, I think the socks maybe it's cute for a photo, but I feel like if I was meeting people, they might be like, why have you got socks on? But I do like the red and the pink, so I think I'm gonna go for that. And it's quite like spring, transitional spring. Will I need a jumper? I suppose it doesn't really matter, I can just take it off. I was having a bit of a meltdown about this trip that all these clothes are for, because I thought it was going to be a lot warmer, and I've looked at the forecast and it's about 15 degrees, so it's very much like that middle temperature, and I've been packing for like summer, which is probably a bit silly of me, so I need to have a little think of that. Love that. I think that's so cute. I'm so chuffed with these jeans. And I might make sure I bring like some kind of pinky lipstick. Which one? Well, I might just take this because lipstick's a bit high maintenance, isn't it? Okay, let's go. I feel like earrings like this look better if you have your hair up, so I don't think I'm gonna wear these. I feel like silver would look good. Those are next door though. And then I think I'll go for these sunnies, the ones I got as well in the shop the other day. And I'm feeling something summery, so this is Joe Loves Positano. Then I'm going to put this little M necklace with a little pearl. Where's the pearl? It's down there. I haven't worn this in a while because it's so tiny that it's very fiddly. Don't need these on. It's very fiddly, so let's give this a go. It's probably not going to have much success if I've got these long nails now. Oh my gosh. I managed it. Yay. Just arrived and it's such a beautiful area. It's a lovely sunny day, and I remember when I lived in Newquay, because I lived in Newquay for a year before YouTube, so I lived in Newquay for a bit and then I lived in Truro for a bit, then I moved back in with my parents, and I remember them building this when I lived here. I remember in the years to come and to follow, when I've come to Newquay, I've always thought how nice it is that they make the houses all look different. Rather than them all being the same house back to back. It looks really pretty and very wholesome and makes a difference, I think, because I'm someone who cares about that sort of thing, how things look. When you're driving past, it's very pretty, and they've used a lot of traditional architecture and design, which is lovely. So I'm going to head in, meet everyone, and we're going to have a look around, I think. And they have a Sabzi here, which I didn't know about. I did not know they had a Sabzi, and we all know that's my fave. They've even got a vintage shop. That's what we like to see. Seaside colours. So we're just having a little walk around now, and they're just giving us lots of information about everything here. And one of the cute things is that everyone was gifted a tree, so it's like a living heirloom. So yeah, all the people who have moved in get gifted a tree, which obviously is nice, because then as time goes on, these trees are obviously going to get a lot bigger, and it's going to just make the whole place feel, yeah, a lot more beautiful. And all the streets are so pretty. I was just talking to Frankie about how, yeah, it's just so nice that they've gone for traditional style homes, and they're all different colours, different styles. There's brick, like this brick here. There's a lovely brick house down the bottom. Got lovely black guttering. It looks like it's like aluminium guttering, slate roofs, brick chimneys, lovely like slate porches. Like that's got like a lovely granite step. Like it's really beautifully done. And also I think 30% of the houses here are affordable homes, and there's also council homes, not allowed to be holiday homes here, so it's kind of enriching the community in Cornwall. There's, yeah, houses here that are sustainably built, beautiful, and very interesting, very relaxing. It's very quiet here as well, and they're going to be continuing to build it all the way down. I think Nans Leddon, they said that it means Broad Valley, so they're going to be building it all down to the valley, and apparently there's like a community market garden there as well. So yeah, just very, very pretty. Like, how nice would it be to live on this street? And all the lovely colourful front doors. Look how cute. Your own little Cornish cottage. I'm going to have to check what this guttering is. I don't want to touch it because it's not mine, but yeah, that looks like proper metal guttering. So it's just attention to detail, and beautiful shutters, beautiful front doors. They've all got like lovely front gardens as well. Look at that cute little window. And then the slate like fascias. Very Cornish thing. And look, slate house. This is what I mean, it's like the variety. This is like wood clad, this is slate. And this one down the bottom is obviously stone. And then they've even got like lovely cobbled streets. I know I'm talking about all the details, but it's kind of what captures my attention.
Bee population who like pollinate the trees and the flowers. But yeah, it's all inside weathers and places.
They've even got the lovely Cornish granite walls, which are great for biodiversity, and they've done them the traditional way with soil rather than like plaster, so that plants can grow there, insects can live there, and probably in years to come this will be covered in lots of different plants like they are all across Cornwall. All the hedges in Cornwall underneath are granite, and yeah, they're just wonderful for biodiversity. And there's a park back here which they're mowing with lots of play areas for kids. Yeah, it's just so cute. We literally could not have better weather. It's not been like this at all this spring, and show up here it's like totally blue skies, not a cloud in sight, and it's getting me very excited for summer. Can it just stay like this now forever? See, look how cute all their front gardens are with the little fences. You can hear all the birds. Oh yeah, look, there's some trees here that are a bit more established. Is that called espalier? Where you train it to go up a wall in that shape? Very cool. These must be some kind of apple blossom or something, right? Apple trees. So just nipped into Love of Lemons, and they've got a really lovely mixture of vintage and like sustainable brands. So like lots of men's vintage clothes, and then they've mixed in sustainable brands, and then you like go through and there'll be like a vintage piece, so you can, she was explaining how like the idea is that you'll buy like maybe a more expensive sustainable item but pair it with a more affordable vintage top. But they have so much lovely stuff, like oh my goodness, look at this dress. This is literally right up my street, this place. Look at these. Oh my gosh. This is adorable. Oh my goodness. And if you want to get a nice little denim jacket like the ones I've got loads of them. I've got loads of lovely jumpers, and this is dangerous. I've got loads of jeans as well, because I've obviously got these ones recently. They've got loads of Levi's, loads of different colours. So they've got the lighter wash, darker wash. I actually would really love a pair like this with the sort of really dark denim, because I think that suits me. Look how cute. Vintage dresses, oh my gosh. That's so pretty. That is so, so nice.
It's not true. You're so hard on yourself. You always have to.
Oh my gosh. That is a vibe. That is my vibe, isn't it? Look at that.
I was so fortunate enough to be able to get this space. I was in talks with Nansed and the Duchy for so long. It was about a year. And I remember first coming to this studio, and it was literally bricks, and I was outside on the scaffolding just out there. And I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And these people were like, it's just bricks. So, yeah, you're right. And they kind of explained everything about the space and the unit, and I was really lucky to be able to get the two, so the shop and then the studio up here. And they work really differently, so because this is a shared unit, I'm really fortunate that you just basically pay a service charge for the heating, for the water, for all the electric and stuff, and all of our heating is underfloor. So for yoga students, it's like the best thing to come in on a cold morning and have nice warm mats and nice warm feet. And it's also really nice because it's like heated from the ground, so it's thermal heating. There's a plant downstairs, but that's just the two buildings, so the two units rather. So the accountant's opposite, and then my unit. It's a little bit different for downstairs. But it's great because as a business owner, you want to kind of pay a certain fee and then just hopefully forget about everything else and just work on actually doing your job, as opposed to trying to organise bills and things like that when they come separately. So it's nice to have them in a big group. I know Nansen are so on it with being as sustainable as possible, and I own an eco-friendly activewear brand, so all of my stuff's made from recycled plastic bottles and fishing nets. So for me, that was just like a massive tick on my list of reasons as to why. I mean, why wouldn't I want to be in here teaching yoga every day? Yeah.
So we're done now at Nansleden. That was a really lovely way to spend a morning. The girls organising the event were so sweet, so informed on everything. They gave us so much information about Nansleden and everything they're doing here. Really interesting, and I think it's a really great thing they're doing here. I think they're going to finish in about 2045, but essentially everything they've done here is all about being more sustainable, down to the insulation, the businesses here, heating the places. Like, I know that Sabzi and the yoga studio we just visited are geothermal heating, so it's all from the ground, and they're so well insulated that a lot of the places here really do not have to pay for heating, which means that it's kind of that thing that I talk about a lot, that sustainability and your kind of well-being goes hand in hand. And when you do sustainable things, or when businesses do sustainable things, or you build things sustainably, it doesn't just refer to like the eco side of things. Sustainability is for the long term, it's for human benefit and the earth's benefit. It amplifies everything. So families living here are going to benefit in that they're going to be able to reduce their heating costs, their energy bills, and just experience a more enjoyable living situation. So yeah, it's really, really interesting and just a very cool thing to learn about, and to see something like this come to Cornwall. There's just so many cool things here. Like, they've got bee hotels, you can have EV chargers and solar panels added as an extra to your home. They've got a school here, a nursery, and lots of businesses like Sabzi and like the vintage shop, like the yoga studio. And it just feels like a whole new community. And as they obviously build further into town, I think I mentioned that it's going to meet that market garden, that community garden in Cornwall, so it's in Newquay, so it's going to go really, really far down and just provide, you know, a sustainable community of homes for Cornish people. And everything's been sourced locally to build, and I feel very grateful that I was invited to check it out and tell you all about it, because I think this is the sort of thing that you want to know about and hear about on my channel, learning more about Cornwall, about the sustainable development that's happening. And I think this kind of thing is the future. This is what we should be focusing on, how to make our homes more sustainable from the start, how we can all live more sustainably, how we can foster businesses that are sustainable and build communities where people can live that way. So it is a long-term investment. It's not just something that's, you know, fleeting. It's something that's going to last for a long time, and it's going to make a big difference to people's lives, and it's going to make a big difference to the planet and last. And it's going to be something that's an investment into the future, because this is going to be finished in 2045. It's been inspiring for me too, just to think about stuff I can do at home in the future to make our home more sustainable, because it's an old home. But I'll be intrigued. I'm going to have to come back here in the future and see what more things they've done and what new businesses are open here. I'm just so happy that there's a Sabzi here. Like, that is just the icing on top of the cake. So let's head off to the Cornish Seal Sanctuary to celebrate Bee's birthday. Look at him go! Woohoo! Look at him rolling!
Walking like a seesaw.
They know the time. It's like dogs.
Importantly, here we have our residents of Harbour View. So there are 4 seals living in the pool in front of us. These are all permanent residents here living at the sanctuary. So here we do our cockroach a tiny bit down here. Pumpkin doesn't like mackerel. He doesn't like it one bit. He will actually spit it out sometimes if you try and feed it to him. What he does like instead is a nice, soft, juicy herring. So we can get herring down here at Cornwall, but unfortunately not all year round at entering now, and then we're going to be starting the feed. So you'll also be noticed during the feeds, team here will do some health checks with our animals. So this is a really good time to do it because once they get some food, they're very happy.
You got fish?
Every single day. Health checks there very nicely. So Ayla was rescued over in Norfolk, nothing's around there. Now the last resident in here is Jinx, so she's the smallest out of the concern. After a bit of investigation, it turns out she's actually got inflammation.
Somewhere else. No, come in.
Good morning, the sun is shining and it feels like spring finally after all the time me moaning about the weather in England, and the sun is shining and Roxy has come to say hello because she knows I'm chatting to you, so she wants to say hello as well. Don't you? She smells great. Alex gave her a bath and she smells so good. So it's Sunday now, a bit of vlogception. I've had to like move things around a little bit, so my brain is a bit confused about where this is going in the vlog, but I know that this vlog will be the same one as when I went to Newquay on Thursday. It's Sunday now, but we had such a lovely time. It was so fun. The girls who organised the event were so lovely and so informative about Nansledden, and I really enjoyed learning about it. I would love to just learn more about things and projects like that in the future around Cornwall, because it really means a lot to me as someone who grew up in Cornwall and who is fully aware of the situation here. It's really difficult for people who live in Cornwall, residents, because it is a holiday destination, and maybe if you live in a holiday destination, it is a common issue that there's lots of holiday homes, which hikes up the pricing of houses. So it's really amazing to see a housing development that has been done sustainably. No holiday homes there, a place for people to live, for people to be residents in Cornwall is always a positive thing, and it just makes me excited to see that they're really extending it, and there's just more housing for people to live here and to build their families and their lives here. And I thought for today I would answer some questions. I put a little Q&A out on my Instagram about just like renovating and sustainability, because it just piqued my interest, thinking about how, you know, there are options for adding solar panels and electric vehicle chargers, and they have heat pumps. They are obviously really insulating the homes there so that everything doesn't need to be, so you don't need to be so reliant on your heating and spending a lot on your energy bill because of how the houses have been built. But what came up yesterday is also how these additions can be made to old houses. So adding things like solar panels or heat pumps, or just changing some things in your home for it to be more energy efficient and sustainable. So I just put a little question out and let's see what everyone's had to say. Okay, so the first question is from Belle Ann Hughes. How do you balance keeping existing items versus wanting to rip everything out and start over? I totally understand what that feeling is, where you just see a room that is not how you want it to be and you just want to rip it all out and just start fresh. I totally get that, but actually in my experience of doing this home, when you try and utilise what you already have, you would be amazed at what you can achieve with it. So I think the best way to start is, if there is a room or a space in your home that you want to rip out and start again, decide on your budget, number one, get quotes if you need big work done by professionals, and stick to that budget and see if you can really be like, I don't know, critical about your budget and see what you can make of what you already have. This kitchen is a great example, and maybe I'll show some video here of what I mean. So when we moved into this kitchen, I felt a bit like, oh gosh, I really want it to be what I want it to be. But the kitchen is gorgeous. It is a wooden kitchen and it would be sacrilege to rip it out because it's not an original feature, but I'm pretty certain it would have been put in about maybe the 50s or the 60s. Maybe. I may be completely wrong. But it's obviously been done by a carpenter with solid wood, and I didn't want to rip that out, obviously, because, well, at one point I was tempted because I was like, I want to rearrange this and I want it to be exactly how I want it to be because it doesn't actually have too much storage space in terms of like drawers and things. But instead we painted it and it brought it a new lease of life, and we changed the worktops. There was a dark granite worktop and there was a wooden worktop. The wooden worktop was very rotten and didn't look very good. Even if you sand it, those black marks would have remained. So we got a lovely quartz worktop from a local company, and we built in some extra storage. So it solved the problem. We got a local carpenter to build the storage at the end of the kitchen, so we'd have pantry storage. And we also added fridge and freezer kind of kitchen units to make it look like they were always there. And we added actually one extra cupboard also on the other side of the Aga. So it kind of looks like a fuller kitchen. That's kind of meeting in the middle. So I really recommend starting with the budget, what needs to be done professionally, what you're capable of doing, and think about what original features or what features you have in your home that you can actually improve. And you'd be surprised what you can do and what you can fix up, and how a lick of paint, some filler, can just do wonders. It is insane. Like doing our office recently on the outside, you probably know that originally we mentioned to you that we wanted new guttering and that we wanted to put some new pieces of wood on the fascias. Now in the future we probably will get new pieces of wood because they're rotten, and potentially new guttering because I would like it to all match when we do the big house. But for now, we've painted it, we've filled it, we've cleaned the guttering, and it looks brand new. So it's actually incredible what you can achieve just by giving it a go first. And that would be my recommendation. Give it a go first, do your own little makeover, fill some things, paint some things, build some stuff to make it work. And then if in the future you have a bit more of a budget, or some of the bigger projects in your home have been done, you can then maybe think about, okay, now let's actually do the original, what we really would love to do, and spend the money. But yeah, that's my opinion. And also, I think sometimes you can get a bit carried away with renovating and thinking that you need to rip everything out for it to be perfect. But take a step back, because I think Instagram influences that a little bit, because there are lots of very perfect homes on Instagram. And if you take a step back, go onto Pinterest, look in some magazines, see how many old homes, I don't know if your home is old, but see how many homes have nicks and marks and layers of paint over the years, lots of clutter, you know, old bookshelves, rustic windows, and see the charm in that. That's really helped me, because I have sometimes got a bit downtrodden by how this home, no matter what I do, it ends up being a bit skew whiff. And there's lots of marks. You know, I'm looking now, I painted this not that long ago. There's cracks, there's marks. It's just part of owning an old home, and it's part of renovating. And kind of accepting that that's what a home is can help you not have the urge to rip everything out and start again. Apart from the fact that it's far more sustainable to try and work with what you've got and approach it from that point of view. And you'd just be surprised what you can do and what charm remains by doing it that way. And I'm so grateful we didn't rip this kitchen out and start fresh. I at one point wanted to rip the floors out because the floors are covered in marks. And I'm so grateful I didn't, because that's part of the charm of this house. Is we have a kitchen that is old, it's wooden, it's had layers of paint on it, the paint is already chipping, but it adds to the vibe. And you know, the floor is, you know, cracked and broken, but it's an old farmhouse kitchen. If you walked in here and it was a brand new perfect kitchen with a brand new perfect floor, I really don't think it would look like an old Cornish farmhouse anymore. And it could be any kitchen in any house in England. It could be a new build. So yeah, that's my opinion. And I'm gonna go outside now. I'll answer some more questions throughout the day. I'm gonna go outside and get some sorting done. I wanna move everything basically out from the back of the office and do some power washing. You look very relaxed. You look very, very relaxed, don't you? You love Mummy's new cushions. I'll link these. I got them from M&S, and they bring me so much happiness when I come down. They look so joyful, and these are embroidered. Look at them. Oh, Bobby, you are just so happy, aren't you, little one? So yeah, you can see that this kitchen looks totally new. Obviously ignore the fact that we just had breakfast. But it looks new, but it has the charm. So we put the paint on, new worktops, we extended it so we have a little bit of a breakfast bar. These cupboards are new, where there was nothing there before. And then this fridge cupboard is new, but Everything else is the original kitchen, just painted. We still have to fix some of these doors. These they never close properly. This one doesn't close properly because unfortunately, though we got a carpenter in, he actually just ghosted us and never finished the job. So that was wonderful. I think that was our mistake. We paid him and then there was little things to finish, like the fact that the doors don't close. But because we paid him, he just never came back. But that's something to fix. But you can see like already there's like nicks and marks, and you can see parts where the paint from below is coming through. Part of me kind of thinks that's the charm of it being an older kitchen, and it is what it is, you know. So this Aga probably could do with a re-enamel, but really should we need to, because this again, it's part of the charm. There's always going to be marks. This probably could do with repainting because we need to do that when we finish the hallway, but you just have to accept it, and you don't get the charm of an old home without the mess of an old home. This is another cool thing to do. If you find anything, if you live in an old house, you can use it as decoration. These were everywhere when we demolished our shed, and I just put them there because I didn't know what to do with them, but I'm going to bring them inside, clean them up, and they can be used as decoration. These are the sorts of things you find in antique vintage shops all the time. Just finished eating my lunch. I'm sorry I didn't show you. It was just like a tofu salad, but let's get to the next question. Let's see. It's so overwhelming living in the mess of a renovation. How did you manage this? Honestly, I find this the most challenging part of renovating, and I think that it actually impacted mine and Alex's mental health more than we maybe realised at the time, when we were doing lots of renovations of the kitchen. And can you hear that bird? Yeah, and getting lots of stuff done all at once. We just found it very invasive, especially having builders at the house every day. So in hindsight, I think my best advice is to not take on too much at once. That can be very overwhelming. But if you do have a lot of renovations happening, to try and maintain some level of routine and have some boundaries with builders. So I look back and think, I really wish I'd communicated to the builders to not come to our door before 9 AM, because they would very often knock on the door first thing and then it kind of explain what they were doing that day. And I've had other builders since that are much better at just not bothering us unless they need us. So depends on the personality of the builder. So set boundaries where they can only, you know, contact you or knock on the door or come and speak to you after 9 AM, things like that. But the mess of renovations, I think that have a space that is tidy and clean, and keep the routine of keeping your house tidy and clean, because I know that when we have renovations and there's a mess, it's easy for it to just spill into everywhere and you just kind of give up. You're like, well, what's the point? Everything's a mess. There is 100% a point. And if I was to go back, I would have endeavoured to be much tidier. Now we are much better about every week we have kind of like a big clear up, a big tidy. So yes, it does get messy, but we really try and stay on top of things and put everything away and just be strict about it. But yeah, just try and maintain some sanctuary in your home that is tidy and is clean and is a safe space that you can just close the door on the renovations. This is a really interesting question. Knowing when to keep the original features and when to actually make a house livable. I think this is so interesting. I don't know if we've run into this problem in our house. But I can understand that there are certain old buildings where there are key features or original features that make it difficult for you to renovate. And I think you just have to do a pros and cons list of how easy it would be to go around it, whether it's going to end up costing more, whether it's going to eat into a budget, how much you like the original feature, because there's also an element of getting wrapped up in, oh, well, we should keep it because it's an original feature. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Does it bring you joy? Because it's your home after all. It's kind of weighing up the pros and cons of whether to keep the original feature versus improving your day-to-day life. If it's really like impacting the way you enjoy your home, it may be worth changing things. Okay, so this is a good example. We changed our windows. So those windows were original features. They were the original Victorian and Georgian windows, and we got rid of them. That's the decision we made. We did a pros and cons list of whether to restore the windows versus get new ones. Restoration of the windows is very expensive, and there was no guarantee that they would all work in the way we wanted them to. Well, they probably would have been fine, but also they would have been single glazed, and this house can be quite cold. So in the kind of long term, we were thinking about the sustainability of having properly insulated windows that would improve the draftiness of our house, because it used to be freezing, and I actually don't think I'm very often cold in this house anymore compared to when we first lived here. It was an issue to begin with because I really feel the cold. I'm never really cold upstairs. We've got electric blankets on our bed. We've got the Argo in the kitchen. The only place I'm sometimes cold is the living room because of the draft from the back door. But my goal this winter is to sew and make my own back door curtain to keep the draft out. And yeah, they were designed in the original style. So they took our old windows and replicated them basically. So they look very, very similar to the original windows. They're white, and they, to be honest, I don't know that anyone, unless you're really thinking about it, would come to our house and think, oh, you've got brand new windows. They just look like nice windows. So that was where we made our house livable versus keeping an original feature. And either way would have been a good option, but a lot of you were involved in that decision with us, and a lot of you recommended just to get new windows because of the impact on our lives and the fact that it's going to make our house way more livable, way more insulated and comfortable to be in. So that's a really good example. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So yeah, I think that go with what makes your house livable, and put your well-being, and it also could improve the sustainability of the long-term kind of energy usage of your home. Let's get outside. I'm so pleased with how tidy it is out the back there now, and we're going to go order a shed on Monday. And I was originally going to paint it, but I think we should leave it wooden just for some variety and difference, and we can put loads of stuff into the shed. I'm going to see how far I get on. I might power wash the side and that little section of the patio where we've been painting. And if I get quite far, because it's 20 to 1, I was going to go to the gym, but I just feel like it's a Sunday, don't really fancy it. I'd rather just be outdoors. It's so sunny. Now that's done, it's really motivated me. I think that because it's sunny now, I want to kind of, this is probably another conversation that's interesting, is that like I really want to make my renovations led by the seasons. So I really think stuff indoors and stuff that is, you know, things that you can spend a lot of time on inside is for autumn, winter. And I think now we're approaching spring, summer, I really want to work on projects outside. So working on the garden, working on our driveway, and not worry so much about the inside. We've spent so much time and money on the inside, and it's easy for me to get carried away thinking, well, the hallway's not finished. We haven't done our bathroom yet. You know, there's loads of things that are not quite finished around the house, but that's me kind of looking at the house as a glass half empty. And I should look at it as a glass half full. We've done so much work on the inside, and it is gorgeous. And I love coming down to this kitchen. I love sitting in my living room. I love going to bed in my bedroom. They're all so beautiful now. And I feel quite sad driving into our driveway because it looks a bit of a mess. So that's what I want to focus on, and, you know, really get outside in the garden this summer and work on lots of projects. I have parked the vegetable growing, you may have noticed, because I think it was just inhibiting me from getting other projects done that have been on our list. And it's something I really want to do. It's something I really, really want to do. But doing it alongside lots of home renovations and my full-time job, it's just, I don't have the time for it, and I don't have a greenhouse. If I had a greenhouse, maybe it'd be a bit more sensible for me to be able to do it. But I just want to focus on the things that have been on the list for a very long time, and that's, yeah, once the driveway is done, we can, you know, work on covering up the sleepers and making the garden really lovely and moving the trellis, all that kind of stuff. And by the end of this summer, I'm sure our garden will be transformed if I do that over spending too much time thinking about growing lots of veg this year. So let's get outside. It's so sunny, I love it. Cushions are out. Got some leftover cake from Bee's birthday. Bobby is relaxing. She does need a lead because she does tend to run away, but she's very happy. Can't believe this sun. Hopefully in just a few weeks that'll be purple behind me. Feels like we're in the Mediterranean, look at that. Cornwall or Spain. So we're having our little sipple. I decided to make a margarita. I think the last time I made a margarita was when I vlogged it. Like last summer.
Huh. No, we must have had one since.
I don't think so. I can never be bothered. I always seem to do it when I'm vlogging. Don't know why, but there was a question on this little list of questions I asked that
Oh yeah.
I thought you could answer because you were talking about this the other day.
What was I now?
Well, you were trying to figure it out the other day. I always wonder about leftover paint and the best way to dispose of it.
Down the drain. Or into your local waterway. Is that it? Dispose, well, I guess we've never really had paint to dispose of.
No, they're talking about the tins of paint.
Oh, the tins.
This is the issue you had the other day.
It's different. I don't know if it's UK or not. I googled it and like one of the first results was B&Q and it said some stores have trials, and it was hard to find out. Some of these things are hard, like if it's like metal versus plastic. Anyway, I eventually went to the dump, the recycling centre for something, and I asked one of the people there and they said yeah, they take tins of, you know, not empty paint, and they also take empty tins of plastic paint, you know, still coated with paint on the inside, and they use it for something instead of just throwing it in the bin. It might end up in the same place anyway. They said, I think they use it for energy, for however they do it, you know, they might burn it, I don't know. Not ideal, but I guess it depends on your local council or what country you're in. But that was the advice I found, because we've got a few tins that need to go from painting the outside of this office space.
Mm-hmm. My other advice would be, if you're buying paint, to like if you have some paint left, don't just throw it away, keep it, store it, have like a box or a place in the attic where you keep leftover paint, because if you ever do a project, like you're doing a piece of furniture, or you're you've got something that you've thrifted, then you can use the leftover paint to do it up. So we don't throw paint out. If there's like a little bit left, just keep it, because you may use it for something, and it's better it's like living in just like a box somewhere in your home that you can use to kind of get into that thrifty mindset. That's what I would say. Let's do one more before we sign off the vlog.
It saves money as well.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Someone's asked how much our house was. Definitely not
$1
answering.
million.
How do we deal with builder waste? That's something that actually we don't deal
Hole
with.
there.
I find that really, really stressful. So fun story, when we did lots of the renovations of the patio and there's a robin in the garden,
Yeah.
of the patio and like the shed and stuff, we had builder's waste in our front driveway for about a year, maybe longer, because we didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it was
kept
mainly, it wasn't even the waste, it was we'd bought a bit too much because they deliver it in the big ton bags.
But it's also loads of waste because we were like,
Oh, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
use it for something, let's be recycling, let's be sensible.
It's like, yeah, we'll reuse the MDF
And we did try, and we
stuff,
did reuse
yeah.
some things, and we did try our best, but sometimes it is a really unfortunate part of
Yeah.
renovating. And I think we found that really hard because we were just like, this feels so wasteful, because in our day-to-day life we don't throw anything away, we always recycle everything. You've seen my utility room, we have a whole shower full of recycling because we're very careful with it. So yeah, we were just very like conflicted on what to do, because you can't really control what builders are doing when it comes to waste.
No, I'm kind of a cynical person as well. It's like, if they take it away, where are they taking it?
Yes, exactly. We did take some of it to the recycling centre ourselves so that we knew where it was going. And then also, my best advice is, if you do have excess materials, to ask the builders to leave it and put it on Facebook. So put it on like local selling sites for free, and just like free to whoever collects. There's a local one in Cornwall called Crap. I think it's Cornwall.
Camborne, Red Roof, and no, it's not. Yeah, and Pool. Wait, I thought it was. No, that's the abbreviation for that area.
No.
They call it Crap. Yeah.
Crap is Conserving Resources Associating People, a group for the area we live in to share your junk with others for free. And they have it in all the different locations around Cornwall. Maybe it's something they have elsewhere, but it seems to be a Cornish thing. So people just post on them when they've got stuff for free. So if people are moving house, if people are going from being homeless to having an apartment, if people are students, if people are doing building works, people just shove things on there and free to whoever collects.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. And we're going to sip on our drinks and enjoy this spring evening.
Listen to the birds.
Yeah. And appreciate all the work we've done, because look at this. Ignore the trellis, I just propped it there to dry and to sort of separate where I was cleaning. But look at the lights. How cute. And I'm going to get some pots so we can line the stairs a bit and the wall, and get a table and chairs for over there. And it looks all done.